And we're back from that extremely long time period where I did not upload any video. Specifically, I think it was 2 weeks. I'm back. I did not forget about YouTube, just in case you're wondering, which you're probably not. So, today, part 5 of the Exoskeleton project. The Pneumatics, hooray! We are done with the mechanical build. So, today we're going to be hooking up hoses, fittings, solenoids, all of that stuff to allow me to run the exoskeleton. Let us not forget that I have to run 14 actuators with 2 hands. And it's kind of difficult. So, I needed to come up with some designs, which I actually have already come up with designs because I've been playing this out for about a month. I've literally worked on the pneumatics for a month already, and so I think I have a design where I can control them all with relative ease. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. Alright, let's first talk about what are going to be the main designs. So, remember how I was talking about the side to side and forward to back movement of the shoulders? So that's going to be controlled by this. So I'm planning to have like a panel right here or something that would like kind of clip onto my wrist, so I can grab onto each two. So I have 2 of those, actually 4, 2 for each hand. Now the legs, I have these things. So I bought these. These are 5-way 2 position. So these are what I was talking about earlier. And I'll go into greater depth later because it's kind of complicated and I can't just explain it here. But basically, I would have like 4 of these lined up, and I would flip these to switch power to the legs. Alright, so we have these mounted. Basically, I've just screwed the fittings through a piece of aluminum and then torqued them down, and that way it holds them. So this is gonna actually be mounted on the hip somewhere right there. I need to make another piece that will run across these, so these will be pulled up and down together. Look at that. They all flip up at the same time. So this would basically just be like a block that would convert power to the legs or the arms when I flip it. This is mounted. We have the exoskeleton drawn out minus the spine, bottom half, top half. So we have 3 actuators here. Bending of the leg, forward and backward leg, forward and backward of arm. You have the other actuator right here controlling the up and down of the arm sideways. No, I didn't draw the actuator bending the arm because that's part of an entirely different pneumatic system. So these are the 5-way 3-position solenoids. I'm gonna have 2 on each arm. And remember, this is only for one half of the body. So this system would be duplicated on the other half. So we have 4 of these switches. So these are 5-way 2-position solenoids. These would be if you want the actuator completely in the out position or completely in the in position. We're using these for a different purpose. Basically, we're using these to control the airflow. So we're controlling which parts of the body the airflow goes to. So basically, these actuators, or these solenoids, are going to be controlling both the upper half and the lower half to make it easier to control the entire body. These are going to be mounted on the waist. That's the waist right there. There's an inlet, and then there's 2 outlets. So let's just draw 2 outlets because the inlets aren't really important in this case. One hose from the outlet would go into the inlet of one of these. The other hose would go into the inlet of another one, and you'd have that for all 4 of those. So one outlet is controlling one whole switch. So then this switch has 2 outlets right here. So I'm gonna have one actually going to this actuator, and then the other one going to, so I'm just gonna draw that coming way out there, up there. And this would be, of course, running along the frame. So then we have that one, and so this would be going down to the other side to control it moving in. This would be going up here. right there. So basically what this does is that I have control of where the thing goes by controlling forward and backwards, but if I want to switch power to the legs, I would flip that switch up. That converts power to this hole right here, which brings all the power down to the legs. So basically I still have the positional control of the 5-way 3-position solenoid, except I can control where the flow goes using these 5-way 2-position solenoids. Electricity. We need to learn a little bit about electricity, and so I can keep on explaining the exoskeleton. If you don't like learning about electricity, please don't click away. Yeah, I mean, if you really don't like it, just click away. I don't care. So we have electricity. Electricity basically is a flow. It's the flow of electrons through, say, a wire. You have electrons, and they all flow in this direction. So a battery is basically just a storage cell for electrons. So in order to have electric current flow, you need to have a closed circuit. You're able to have electrons move through a wire from the negative side to the positive side. Now if you were to put, say, a load in there, or just a thing that you want to be running, okay, so say a fan, you run electricity through the fan, it uses that energy to power the fan, and then the electrons go back into the battery. We need to learn about electromagnets. Electromagnets are basically a coil of wire. If you were to hook a battery up to this, the electrons would flow through this coil of wire. And when you run electrons through a wire, it creates a small magnetic field. If you were to put all these wires close together in a coil, it creates a larger magnetic field because all those magnetic fields add up. That's all you need to know about electricity. Now we need to get into solenoids, electric solenoids. So this is a 5-way 3-position solenoid. This is what I'm using for the suit. So you have two sides, okay? You have a metal rod hooked up to a bunch of seals, okay? So imagine these seals, so air goes into this, so there's air pressurized in it, and you can move the rod back and forth, and that would open up these ports. So we have two electromagnets on different sides of it. So basically you apply power to one of these electromagnets and it pulls this towards it, opening up this port, and if you were to apply power to this side, it would pull it towards this side and it would open up that. Now explaining the suit. Yes, finally. So we have a battery, we have a solenoid, and then we have this 3D printed piece. This is a rod of steel. It's conducting, okay? This is conductive. This is also steel and steel. So these are both conductive. So this is positively charged. This pivots, so this rod can move that way or that way. So depending on which way I want to have the actuator move, I'd move the thing that way, and so imagine if that would touch that, okay? So that would complete a circuit. Then we have the negative, and that's connected to the battery, and negative over here connected to the battery. So if I want to have the extra move a certain way, I'd complete this circuit. So I'd move this to the left, that would touch that, complete the circuit, which means we have flow going from the battery, or going from, the battery through the solenoid back to the battery. So that'll move it one way. And same as vice versa. When I move it this way, it completes this circuit, and that would complete the circuit over here. So basically, I've just created a 3-way switch. This is actually the 3D printed piece I was talking about. We'd have a lead that goes to here, so that connects to it. So that would have current running through it. So this nail, or this screw right here, would have current running through it. These are the two things that I just explained that will control the different ways that the actuator moves. So we have a hand that I made. Okay, so those are magnets. Focus. Alright, the thing doesn't want to focus right now. So we have basically a glove that I riveted on. Okay, and so that it has magnets on it, and this has magnets on it too. So basically what happens is I connect it. Alright, so now I'm connected. I'm hooked into the suit by magnets. Alright, so when I move, if I want to make my arm curl using this actuator right here, I move my hand up, that completes the circuit, and that makes the arm move up. I want to move down, I complete the circuit, makes the arm move down. And that's basically it. That is the curling of the arm. I'm just going to add this in very quickly because this isn't the most important part of the video, but the back is controlled by a 5-way 2-position lever. So that's going to be mounted right there on my arm, so I can just reach over and flip it. And this is wire attachable to the, you can't see the camera or the frame, but it's attached to the actuator that extends the back and the actuator that bends. Alright, this project is going very well. I made progress. We're done with the pneumatics, well, mostly. Next video, weaponry. So, you better be looking forward to that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Yeah. See you next time.